Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode on the Prototech server. And today I have a bit of explaining to do. Basically, it's been almost like a year since I posted my first video on Prototech here, and I haven't posted anything since. And basically, I just wanted to explain to you why that was. And basically, at the time, uh, when I started on this server, I just kind of thought that everyone that played on a server kind of played like Hermitcraft. And if you saw my first episode on here, you definitely saw that. Basically, I was starting to build like my own base, and it was going to be like off limits to everyone else on the server, and it was just going to be kind of like my thing, which is allowed on this server, but I don't really want to play like that on this server. Uh, I realize that most of the stuff here is for like the benefit of the full community, so everything's available to everyone, and we all just kind of share resources and help each other out as much as we can on these huge projects that we're all trying to tackle. So with that being said, I'm not going to be doing like a base here per se. This will be one of my projects. I'm definitely going to continue work on it. I haven't really gotten anything done since that first episode, but maybe someday soon I will continue it. So basically, since that first episode, I have been, working on the server here, mainly just kind of helping out with projects here and there. But one of the main things I have done is I help with the perimeters, digging the perimeters. One of my favorite things to do in Minecraft is actually just sit there with the pickaxe and manually dig holes. As you can see from this one, I dug this all by hand. And on the server, since I've been playing, I've dug much bigger holes. And we're actually working on a new perimeter that's all being dug by hand, and I am volunteering my hands to help out with that. So I'm actually going to cut and I'll show that off. Alright, so here I am over at this perimeter that we're working on, and it's actually a double witch hut perimeter. You can see one witch hut over there, and the other one is right over here. And I think we are getting down into the 40s. So like this level that we're working on now is, I think, Y49. So we're getting there, pretty good progress. In some parts we already are all the way down to bedrock. You can see this little slice of the pie here goes all the way down and has even started getting its glass floor in, which is pretty cool. But pretty much it's a good setup. We have beacons all over the place, so that obviously you have the beacon effects everywhere. But also one of the features of this is we have ice streams set up at all the beacons, so that as you are mining, you can just kind of dump all of the blocks down those beacon holes, and they will travel to this central beacon area. And when we first set this all up, we had a sorter and a shulker box loader, and it was kind of like a wonky design. I'm not really sure what design it was, but it didn't really work that well. We were losing tons of resources. It wasn't loading correctly and stuff like that. So we actually tore it out and we started doing it by hand over here. As you can see, we just have a bunch of shulker boxes there, and we just load it by hand. And I'm not gonna lie, that sucks. Okay, it sucks to do, and every time you fill up your inventory, you have to fly up there and sort it out, and it just really slows you down. So what I'm gonna do today is build up a new shulker box loader and sorter and stuff. So I'm just gonna cut to a creative world and show off the design that I'm going to be using. Alright, so here I am in a creative world, and I built up this simple design. So basically how it's going to work is I'm going to hook the ice streams up to this little ice stream circle here. So the blocks will come in and go around and around and around, and they'll get picked up by this sorter here and get sorted into all the items, which will go down into this shulker box loader. And I'm not really sure who designed this. I saw it in on our Discord for Prototech, and I saved the picture, but I didn't save who posted the picture or whose the design was. So if you recognize this, please leave a comment down in the down below so that I know who did this, and give them proper credit and stuff like that. But it's a pretty cool design, pretty easy, real bare bones, doesn't have a lot of fancy extra stuff on it. So pretty much the items come down this hopper line and go into the shulker box here, and once that fills up and starts getting items into this hopper, and it'll send a signal through this comparator of this redstone and then over to this guy who detects it, and he kind of activates these pistons over here, which will break the shulker box, the filled one, which will fall down into this hopper line, and then we'll activate this one, which will dispense a new shulker box. So if I just take half of this stack and throw it in there, you can see real quick it sensed it, and then basically sent the signal over. And then once this started filling up and or more so emptying out, filling up the shulker and emptying out the hopper, it sent another signal to retract this observer and basically reset the system. And then the filled shulker boxes will come down this hopper line and go into an item elevator, and then I haven't done it in this creative world, but I'll have a wall of chests so that they will all get stored. And I'm not going to sort the shulker boxes out here. It'll just be all mixed up, and we can do that after we're done digging the perimeter. But at least all the items will be sorted into individual shulker boxes. So that's good enough for me. So yeah, pretty much I'm going to get back onto the Prototech server and start building it up. for the big reveal. Okay, maybe it's not great looking, but everything is working. Yeah, so got everything built up. Everything is hooked up, and it's tested a little bit. So basically, I tested like the all the ice streams and stuff, the sorter. I made sure that all of the items are going into the right box, but I haven't filled up like an entire shulker box yet. Also, I tested like this system, for the shulker box storage, but as far as like filling one up and breaking it, but I tested that in creative, so it should be fine. I think. So over here, I added a chest tower for empty shulker boxes. So you got that. And also, while I was at it, I went around and kind of fixed a few of these ice streams. There are a few beacons around the area that didn't have ice streams in them, and then some of them, like how they were run, would have like corners like this where the water would just flow into them and the items would get stuck like this. So I made it like this where it might go slow a little bit, but eventually it'll make this corner and go around here. So, and then everything just falls down into this ice stream and goes round and round and round, and gets picked up. So also I only chose 10 blocks to be picked up. Basically from what's left up there to actually mine, we don't really need anything else getting picked up. So it just has like the stone variants, so andesite, diorite, and granite, and then a bunch of the ores, so coal, iron, gold, lapis, redstone, and diamond, and then dirt, because we actually have a decent amount of dirt still to mine, but also there's dirt patches all over the place, and I was like, it'd be nice to get some dirt while we're mining. So yeah, so there's that, and I'm really excited to keep digging in this area. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this project. Oh, okay, I guess not. Here we go. Yeah, we're making some pretty good progress in this area, and it'd be nice having that storage. So we have one more project I wanted to work on in this episode, and so I'm going to make a quick cut and go over there, and I'll see you when I get there. Alright guys, so I am over here at a little place on the server called Die Square. As you can see, it's this square, and it's a flower biome, and we use it to get all the dyes to dye things like wool and clay and stuff like that. But if you look around, this place is kind of a mess. There's a lot of unfinished or broken projects all over, and some of the guys on the server are actually going to be revamping this place very soon. They're going to be tearing down like all these half finished or broken projects and putting up new ones like this. Over here is a brand new flower farm. It's small and tileable, pretty cool design. Basically it has the dispensers on the side here, and then it shifts the grass and these fence gates back and forth. So when the dispenser grows the flower, it falls in between the fence gates when it moves over to this spot. So yeah, I like it. It's a pretty cool design. But one of the things about flower biomes is that you can get a ton of flowers, but there's still some that you can't get, like the blue orchid, because that only you can only get that in swamps, and that's pretty useful because it's a it gives you blue dye, well, light blue dye, and being that regular blue is very expensive to come by, light blue is a great alternative. And I wanted to build up a farm for that, since my main base is in a swamp. So I've actually been working on my own design for a flower farm. And so I'm going to cut to a creative world and I'll show you what I've been working on. Alright guys, so here I am in my test world, and this is the farm that I've been working on. I pretty much came up with everything myself. Like the overall design was all me. And there's 4 major parts to it. So I'll just kind of start at the bottom here. So down here at the bottom, I have some dispensers that go up into the grass here, and that is what dispenses the bone meal and makes the flowers. So basically the flowers get grown, and then I have these pistons here, right there, and they're on a timer, and they just kind of push back and forth. They're on both sides. And when that happens, it breaks off the flowers. And then over here, I have a flying machine that just flies back and forth, sweeping all of the flowers off of the grass and into these water streams. And then they go off to your storage. And then the final part is just a hopper clock that kind of controls it all. So yeah, it's pretty simple. This just kind of goes back and forth, and every time that it activates, it triggers these observers here that trigger the dispensers, and it also triggers these observers that set off the pistons to push the dirt back and forth. If I turn this switch on here, it will start with all the bone meal and the flying machine. I'm just gonna turn it off so it just goes down and back. So this world is just a plains biome. So if we were in a swamp biome right now, all these flowers would be the blue orchids. So yeah, if you look over here, this is what we got just from one go. So almost a stack of seeds, and then all these combined are probably close to a stack, and those would all be blue orchids instead of these random flowers. And then there's some over here. So yeah, that's definitely over a stack of flowers and seeds, so quite a bit. It's very efficient. I'll just speak on this real quick. Because of how I have these dispensers, they face up, and so they dispense the bone meal in a square pattern, which is like 2 in each direction plus the 1 right above it. So that's a 5x5. Sorry, I had a brain fart just now. But yeah, it's a 5x5 that it dispenses, so that's a lot of area per piece of bone meal. So it's pretty efficient. It's kind of expensive with all these observers, but for a server like Prototech, we can easily afford all this. And also, this is kind of modular. So I just have it going let's see here, there's 7 of these dispensers at the bottom, and I have it this way, this wide, because that's how long the hole that I have dug at my base on Prototech, that's how wide it is. So I'm just going the width of that. But you could go pretty much as far as you want. You just have to slow down the clock here, so that these hoppers have enough time to move pieces of bone meal to each of the dispensers while it's being used. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the farm. Over here, I built it up again. There's the farm, and then I just have a, you know, the ice streams hooked up to a item elevator that go into a storage. And also in the storage, I have a thing here for bone meal. So pretty much I can just come over here and dump bone meal into it, and it'll automatically sort over here and go into you know, all these chests here, and you know, into the dispensers. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my design. Alright, so I am over here at my base, at the bottom of the couple chunks that I dug out, and I gathered up all the supplies I'm gonna need, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna, you know, plop this thing down right you know, right here. Might as well, I guess. It's all dug out anyways. I might move it over to the side just to get it away from the witch farm, but I don't think I really need the witch farm to even come down this far, so yeah, I'll probably build it over here, but I'm just gonna cut to a time lapse and get this thing built up. So here I go. Alright guys, this is completely finished. I made sure after I was done recording the bulk amount of the building to go around and make sure that everything is in the right, you know, place, and everything is spawn proof. Had to throw some glass around in a few places to make sure it was spawn proof. But yeah, everything's built up here, and if you saw in the time lapse, I tested out all the pieces like the flying machine. I made sure all the pistons were firing correctly, and the water stream and all that stuff were working. But I haven't done a full test. I actually just loaded this thing up with bone meal, so it's still going in there. But we should have enough in all of the dispensers to turn it on and give it a proper test of the full system. So if I flip this switch right here, if I can reach it, let me get down, and there we go. Alright, that's good. Flowers are blooming, or whatever. And the flying machine is pushing them along. That's really good. Alright, and we should see a few fly by in a second. There's some seeds. Yeah, there we go. Look at all those. We got some regular flowers in there. It must be like a river biome or something over there. Yeah, whatever. I guess I can get some other flowers. I'll have to change some of the sorters around, but yeah, looks like it's working. Let's check that's the bone meal sorter. Yep, blue orchids, got a lot of those coming in. Cool. Oh yeah. So this is the storage. Obviously, it's kind of overkill just for some blue flowers, but it's the width of the farm, so I figured it's might as well. So, oh yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Some of these were left over from like earlier when I was digging this place out. I saved them all and I just threw them in here. But yeah, I got a couple stacks going. Almost a full stack in the second chest. So we probably like these 2 or 3 are from us right now. So yeah, this thing is fast and it is working. So oh yeah, look at that. It's gonna sweep by, push all those in there. There we go. Look at all those. Nice. Yeah, I'll switch over a couple of these sorters to get these other flowers, might as well. But yeah, so that's this project done. I'll go ahead and turn this thing off. Maybe I'll run it for like an actual long time and see how much we can get, in like a full, using up all the bone meal that I have. So, but yeah, so that's that. I'm just going to go to one more thing. I don't want to make another project this episode, but I want to show off something real quick, and that'll be it. So I'll see you in a second. Alright guys, so to end this episode, I wanted to kind of bring it back to where we kind of started with the first project, which is the manual double witch perimeter we were digging, and I want to show off the progress of it, and we're done. We got all the way down to bedrock. We're still cleaning up the bedrock floor. Yeah, pretty much we're taking out all the blocks in the bedrock, and then like over here we're putting in black glass. So I think that looks pretty cool. So yeah, the major part of the digging is done. Now we're kind of doing the tedious part of getting all the blocks out. But soon we're going to start building in this area. We already got some stuff marked out for the farms and what everything's going to look like, as far as like the floor plan and the FK spot and stuff like that. So I'm sure that we're going to start, removing like the ice streams, and I don't know if we're going to keep up the beacons. And we also have a bunch of mob spawners in the perimeter, so I don't know if we're going to do anything with that. Over there we actually have like 4 of them that are really close, so I don't know if we're going to do anything with that. And then eventually probably this storage that we built up will be taken down also. But we got a lot of stuff, so yeah, this is like all the andesite. Got a bunch of diorite, granite, dirt, a ton of coal, and iron. I think, I mean, it's not a full double chest, but that's still quite a bit. We got a ton of stone. I switched some of these filters around in this and started collecting stone just because, might as well. We're digging it anyways, and yeah, we got a ton of that. We had a bunch of gold and redstone. Over here, some of the things that we weren't getting a ton of, I actually added a little bit more storage, or the extra filters that just went into regular chests and not sugar box fillers. So we got a bunch of like cobwebs. Over here's all the diamonds we got, the lapis. We even got some obsidian, and I figured gravel, might as well if we're digging it. So yeah, we got quite a bit. It was very successful digging, and really fun. So yeah, it took quite a long time. I started recording this episode kind of a long time ago, and I just never got around to finishing it. I never had like an idea of what else to do to put in the episode, and then I came up with that flower farm because a bunch of the guys are working on the flower farms in the flower biome. So yeah, I wanted to do that, and I figured I can finish this episode. But I'm actually already working on a project for next episode, and I even recorded a little bit of that. So hopefully soon I'll get the next episode out. But I want to thank you all for watching, and make sure to subscribe for that next episode that's coming out soon. And I'll see you next time.